Hi guys, this is Victor. We're gonna go through some of my tools here. So right now we have dead blow hammers. Everybody has them. It's basically whenever you tap a part down, that's how your part can sit tight on the vise and it won't go flying. This is called a magnet base. Same thing as a magnetic. So it has an on and off. We put our indicator here. I broke my indicator, and that's to check our vices straight. So I'm gonna order a new one. That one should be coming in pretty straight. We have an edge finder. That's to find our X and Y on our lead wells. So it'll spin around, and once you have it, it's like once you have it perfectly straight, and then you'll see this. That means you found your X, and you got to move over 100 thousandths, or depending on the thickness of this diameter. So it's 200 thousandths. That's why I got to move 100 thousandths, half of it. I got cleaning supplies, nothing special there. So this is my flashlight. Just, you know, whenever I need to check, it's pretty bright. Needs battery as well. Safety glasses for whenever we're running something or we gotta grind a tool, we gotta use our safety glasses. I have a little magnet for tools that I constantly use. Whenever I want to have them out, I will put tools, whatever I need, out. If I ever need a outlet for my laptop, when I program a machine, I'll be out there on that one. So these are my boxes for all my tools. They're empty, except this one is just a regular holder. Nothing special on that one. These are all my deburr tools. I have files. These are file brushes. So these are to deburr your parts. Whenever you need to deburr a part, you just grab your part and just deburr it. These are my Noga sets. These are a little bit expensive. They're carbide tips on most of these. They're pretty good. They, you know, deburr different kinds of type of parts. These are all deburr handles. So whenever you deburr a part, you just grab your part and go like this, and this swivels around with the part. And these are the replacement tips. And I have a stone whenever I need to clean my vices. So this is a stone. Whenever you're putting a setup on the machine over there, you would grab your table, and then you would just slowly like put some kind of lubricant, and then just slowly make sure there's no burrs or any kind of fragments inside the machine, and it basically gives you a good flat surface. I've been having it for almost 4 or 5 years, I want to say. So are my deburr tools. These are my Allen wrenches. Most of these are to tighten and loose screws. These are metric. These are standard, and these are metric. They come with their own pouches and their own boxes. So these are, you know, some of the best out there. They're pretty good. And these are just T-handles. Same thing whenever we need to tighten a part down. These are toe screws. They're like a star for insert cutters. Whenever we need to tighten something, these are for it. Okay, so these are just pliers. These are vice grips. These are just to tighten a part down. These were a little expensive. This one was like 40 bucks, I want to say. These are just wire cutters to cut wires. Nothing special. I mean, we have them all around. These are just some regular pliers. I like these because they have a dowel pin. So if I need to remove a dowel pin, I would just put it in there, grab it, and pull it out straight. And this is a tap handle. I lost my other sets. I need to get some new ones. This is just a brass hammer. Someone gave me that one. I really don't use it. It's mostly for conventional people. This is just a wrench. Same thing to tighten parts down. Just goes fast. This is a vice handle, and this is basically to put a little bit of pressure. So whenever you're running a small part or something that's real thin, what you do is you put in your vise and you tighten it. But since it's so short, you don't put a lot of pressure on it. There's a certain pressure, pounds per feet, on the length from here to there. So the shorter it is, the less pressure you can put on it. So this is just a little small one. Okay, so these are my checking tools for checking my parts. These are 1, 2, 3 blocks. These are just so I can do setups or I need to check a part. They're real handful, so I can use it as a stop. So I put the part in and I would edge find the corner. Or I can put a flat part in there and then go to the CMM or high gauge and check my part. Very helpful to have those around. Almost everybody has these on their toolbox. These are just filler gauges. So these are to check like the thickness. So whenever we have a part and we need to check, see if it's not too bold or the part flexes, we would put the part flat and then we would check this to see if the part didn't flex. And these go from 1,000, 5/10 up to 2, 2.5, all the way up to like 15,000, I think, or 25,000. So these are pretty good set. These are Starrett. There's other brands, Mitutoyo, Fowler. Starrett, I think, is one of the best out there. So yeah, I got different calipers. I got digital, dial. I started with these first. These are old style. So these have the dial. You got to read them manually. So it's a little tricky when you're first starting to read these, but it's very helpful. They last a long time. And these are your digital ones, which just gives you the number. You can change to metric, to inch, real quick. So these are 8 inches, 8 inches, and these are 12 inches. And these are my biggest ones, very helpful. These are my micrometers. These are to check really precision parts. Oh, my battery's dead on this one. So if I need to check a part on this one, it's very helpful within really couple tenths. So this one goes to like 5 microns or millions. I forgot, honestly, but they're pretty good. I've been having them for over 4 years, and these are one of the best out there too. This is a stop. It's just a homemade stop whenever I need to pull apart, and I would just put it, lock it. So that's my stop whenever I put a vise and I hit a part against it. This is my like homemade stop. Okay, so this is my grave tool. So if I ever broke any kind of tools and I need to take it out, remove a tool, most of these tools were used for that. So I would not use them again. These are different sizes of screws. So whenever we check a part or we have to check the thread depth, we just take one out. We will zero these out. So this is our 0, and then we will put the thread inside the part, and this is just a reference, and then we would just come here, and this is how we check our depth. So these are, most of these I use for, I really don't use the nuts. Most of the ones I use are the screws. They have a ground flat on it. And yeah, most of these are just regular standard and metric. Nothing out of the ordinary on those. Okay, so that's it. I mean, I got a little broken taps, used drills whenever I need to do rework. So these are pins. Most of the time you see these at QC, and there are pins from 60 thousandths to a quarter on this size. I like having my own pins because it makes it easy for me to check a part. Whenever I need to grab a part and check my diameters, I can go in there real quick, grab one, and it's very helpful instead of going out there to QC and getting your own pins. This is my quarter to half an inch pins. This is a big one. They're a little pricey, but they make my job easy. So it wastes me from going out there having to look for my own pins. I have them right here, and they're mine with my money. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people like using those. We use them like 90% of the time. And that's about it. I mean, most of our tools are to check parts, to tighten our parts, to screw something on so we can have a stop on the vise. Most of our tools that we use all the time are always going to be our calipers to check our parts, make sure we're keeping an eye on them. And then we tap our parts down most of the time. And yeah, I mean, some other people have other cool tools. I'm not on the floor as much, so I would keep buying tools if I'm on the floor, but so far that's what I got.